on the planet. I am in a little town on the outskirts of Vienna, about half hour or so outside of Vienna. And just wanted to, as I was walking here I've got a hotel about a half mile. It's a beautiful day. And just wanted to reflect on the thoughts I had last night as I was going to sleep in my hotel. As my son is in this building right behind me, I'm on my way in now. He should be about out of surgery. I don't know when I will get to see him, but anyway, just wanted to get here almost as quickly as I could. But I also had some thoughts from last night that I wanted to share, because as you know, or many of you know, at night, your thoughts can go kind of wonky, and I think that fear and depression, anxiety, all that kind of stuff cranks up when maybe your serotonin levels are down at night. Your melatonin should be up, but thoughts, as you know, are where the battle really lies. And so I was observing my thoughts last night as I was going to sleep, or trying to sleep. I actually did go to sleep, but this is why I wanted to talk about these things today in light of this experience for me. So as a mom, some of you parents know, some of you kids may not know what your parents feel, but my point is this, is that in your life, in my life, we all have a framework, a frame that fits, just like this screen I'm on right now frames me. I'm in it. It doesn't really matter what my frame is specifically to this story, but in our life it does matter what our frame is. And my frame last night was actually tested and tried, which is really good, because you can actually revisit your frame. What frame do you keep your life in? And the thing that came to me last night as I was observing I observed and wrestled. So, right, it's a process. But I noticed that the fear of, oh no, he's in surgery tomorrow, I'm not there, which is another little trigger of mine that, I'm in America. I had a frame of how I behave and my actions in a hospital. And I was raised with a nurse as a mother, and I've been with my family in hospitals all my life, and I'm there by their bed, and I'm helping to take care of it, and I'm there, right? I see them off into surgery, and I'm there in the recovery room as soon as I can, and that's not how things are here. And so that's also been an interesting, but my frame last night, as I was pondering Stephen, and it's jaw surgery, it's not life-threatening supposedly, but anything can happen, and you think about all these things, like I said, at night. But the frame I really want to focus on today in this observation is that notice your frame. What frame is your life in? Is the frame that, everything goes wrong, I've got to be... Our survival brains have created that frame in our brains. That's a natural survival tendency, but it doesn't serve us today, because we aren't in the same situations as we were when that part of our survival brain was created and evolved. So the fear part of our brain is there. There's nothing you're really going to do to stop that. However, you can decide based on what framework you are giving your attention to, abiding by, reinforcing. You can decide which one is really going to run you, which one you will be run by. And so as I'm pondering this and struggling a little bit last night with this, life gives us these things. This is why we're here. This is a frame I have. Why we're here, this is a frame. So example, why I am here, why people are here, the purpose of relationships, the purpose of our lives is to, number one, create, test, defend, identify, observe, align, choose the frames and the world we will create and we will live in. And we have the power now to do that. We have the brain capacity to do it. If you come from a spiritual or a religious background, you've got a frame. You probably have the frame intellectually. And what these experiences are in our life do is help us cement them emotionally. Help us cement them. Who are we? Put up or shut up. Because I've been taught all my life, okay, all things work together for good, right? That's a frame, an example that my parents modeled for me, my family modeled it for me. But now it's an opportunity for me to put up or shut up. Do I really believe that frame? Am I living in that frame, or am I giving lip service to that frame just because because that's what it should be true? That's what I've heard all my life. That's what, or we put conditions on it. Well, my frame is that I will be taken care of if I am perfect, worthy, do everything correct. We put conditions on. That's a frame. So look and see what your frame is, and that's what you will abide by in your life. And look at what you do, because it's not what you say that you really believe. It's the nights you spend worrying. Well, that's a sign then for you. And that was a sign for me last night. Yep, I need to solidify the frame that all things work together for good. All things are working together for me, for my good. And even if something does happen to Stephen, what makes me think that that's not what's in his best interest? Why do we say, oh, praise God, when people are healed or accidents are resolved? But we don't say praise God when accidents aren't resolved, and when there are problems, and when people aren't healed. It's the same thing. It's the frame I live in, is that all things work together for my good, for the best for Kim, the best for you. And when you get tested with that, which is what life is, you have an opportunity to say, well, do I really believe that? And if I do, then how do I actually turn my mind off of these fear triggers? How do I actually abide in that frame that is supposedly there to give me peace? And so those are the questions that I deal with in my work. This is what I deal with in myself continually. And I am now going to go and see what's happening with my son in this hospital, because he's doing the do. Anyway, I don't know. What is your frame? You can comment below if you want. Notice what your frame is. I continually notice what frame my life lives in, because that will dictate, really, to the large degree, what results and outcomes I have internally.